learn the technique. And some of you are from far away. So tomorrow you need to come here at 2:30 early. And at 3 o'clock the class will start. You need to come in early. I see that some of the people in here who are late. I know some of you who are coming in late in the morning when I teach you the technique. You don't even know. So now you have to take notes. For those of you who are late this morning, I see some of you in here. I see that some of you are here late. So tomorrow you have to come in at 2:30, not at 3. So that way you come in on time. And my God, I know the Vietnamese, not just the Vietnamese, and some of the people in Australia, they are also very late coming to the class. Now let's continue. Let me teach you. There are several points I want to elaborate further, so you have a chance to learn, so you are able to help other people. Otherwise, this is one of the new topics, as a new lesson that we are learning. I want you to understand completely. Anything that you are clear, or if you are not clear, you need to ask, so that I can answer for you to help all of you. This is something you need to remember. During the break, a number of you had asked. I just want to elaborate further for you to avoid the case that you have confusion, and to avoid the case that you spend a lot of time with the practice. Yesterday and today I guide you in the case of the practice, the technique when you merge. In the morning, you merge with the Soul Master Dang 3 times. Then during the whole day, you can treat. You don't need to merge to Master Dang anymore. However, if you wish to merge to 4 country, 8 country, or 10 regions, for example, if you do it, if you want to merge to country A, B, C, the first to the 8th country, for example, you decide to merge to all of them constantly to 8 country. Then you pray to the Soul Master Dang to merge with you 3 times. Then you constantly merge to this 3 country, and you don't need to each time to merge with me, whether you do it in the morning or in the afternoon. However, if you in the morning you merge to many country, in the afternoon you want to merge to 6 more country, then you have to ask me to merge with you. And at night, if you want to merge to 4 more or 5 more regions, then you ask me to merge with you. If you do it continuously for 8 country or 10 country, then you don't need to ask my soul to merge with you each time. But if the interval after half an hour or an hour later you merge to another country, then you have to pray for my soul to merge with you. If you do it constantly, let's say you sit right here when you have the free time, especially for those of you, the women at home, you don't have anything to do. As you sit there, you try to merge to 15 country, then you can do that. And later on in the day, you can merge. Each time when you merge, then you ask my soul to merge with you. So I clarify for you, so you don't get confused, to avoid for you. If not, then now let's say you transfer energy to the first country, then you have to ask Master Dang to merge with you, and then the second country, Master Dang merge with you. And then each time when you do that for 10 countries, it takes a lot of time. So if you do that constantly, then you can merge with me one time, and then you transfer and merge to each country. If you are clear, if not, then you ask me, then I'll answer for you. That is how I elaborate further for you on that point, so you understand. However, a number of you are sick and you have worries as you believe in me. Sometimes I want to help a few of you with the severe sickness. So now, yesterday I let you apply already, so that the Soul Master Dang merged with you, so you can treat yourself. That is Master Dang who healed you. Well, then why should you see Master Dang in person and ask me to treat you? And then if you do that, then I feel tired, because I have to keep on doing that to heal you. You don't have a chance to practice. So I had treated a few of you already. So tonight you need to do it yourself, to treat yourself. Asking the Soul Master Dang to merge with you to treat. And it's a severe problem that you merge 3 times. Listen carefully. As you are treating yourself, so now you receive the light of God's aura directly to your head 2 seconds. As you treat yourself, Then you pray to Master Dang to merge with you 1, 2, 3, and that's done. Then you're done with your treatment. That is Master Dang who healed you. Is that right? Listen carefully now. So tomorrow, don't ask me to heal you anymore. If it's clear, then tomorrow you start to treat yourself. You say that you don't hear it well, so that is how I want to elaborate further for you, so you understand about the technique to transfer energy, to heal, to merge. If you do it correctly, then you can help yourself and you can help others easier. One more time, I want to elaborate further for you. In any situations, you are able to merge. In the past, let's say you are doctors or acupuncturists or dentistry, you have to transfer energy, then you apply it. Now, if you are practicing acupuncture, this is your own business, but in the past, you puncture 2 millimeter, so now for acupuncture, after you puncture and you take out the needle, just like you are applying acupressure. So let's say your needle right here. In the past, I tell you to do it with the triangular diagram. But now, as you are able to merge, when they come to you, you merge and you cannot take the money. So now you are able to get the money. So the patient comes to you, you merge to the patient, and then in 30 seconds you merge. So in only a maximum of 30 seconds. So you puncture to, after you puncture, you take out the needle. After you puncture, take out the needle, whether they can take a shower or not, because you are able to help them. In the past, when you apply acupuncture, I tell you that you don't have the ability yet. So you ask the patient, when you apply acupuncture, they have to wait for 6 hours before taking a shower. Or if they take a shower, they have to use the tape to block the wound. But now they don't need to. Now, as you are merging to the patient, you don't have to use the triangular diagram. Now you are in higher level, the level 20, wherever they have the pain, you just puncture right there. And even if you do it on the wrong location, because you are merging, you are healing them. For those of you who are the doctor, I tell you, any problem you are able to heal them, even if you give them a vitamin, as a prescription. For example, they have the virus infection, and then you give them antibiotic. So instead of giving them an antibiotic to deal with the case of virus infection, if you are so tired and then you give them the flu medicine, wrong drugs, but you are still healing them. However, in the case of healing, I advise for you, for those of you as a EV practitioner right here, with more than 1,500 of you, many people who are sick and they need to use a medication. That is their business. But after the level 20, I let you experiment. You can experiment one day. Because I had done so already. As I experimented, I want you to experiment yourself. To experiment, let's say you have a problem. Let's say each day you have to take 4 pills. So instead of taking 4 pills in your body, you may feel better. Is that right? But now, you can try one day. Don't take any pill. Just try it. Then the next day, to measure the result. First of all, let's say for the case of diabetes or high blood pressure or any of the symptoms, you can try it for one day. Just like it is an experiment for you, like in Australia right here, for those who are with diabetes, they divide into 2 groups. One group, they let them see comedy film. The other group to see drama, emotional drama. And 3 days later, those people who are watching the TV with the comedy, the level of the sugar is dropped down. And the other group, let's see the drama with emotion, they're going to cause stress and cause negative thinking, and that the problem is more severe. That is one of the experiments that the Australian had conducted to measure the mentality of this patient with diabetes. So now with us, with the immune system, for you who are doctors, for the doctor, from friends who are here, you can experiment this. then you can see the effect on yourself, then you can help others. This is a very special case. Contrarily, I want to share with you, since you are my student, I want to share with you. Now, just like you are experimenting, applying the new technique to treat, then you know your own immune system. On the next day, I just show you. And tomorrow you think, oh my God, Master Dang say like this, you cannot practice, or you can practice, so you still feel sad. So tomorrow, tomorrow you think that you have to take a pill. You can take a pill again because of your fear. You practice and then you fear, you have doubt, and you take the pill. And then the following day, the problem is worse. So instead of taking one pill, and then the following day you have to take 2 or 3 more pills. And then on the third day, when you regain back to normal, whether you want to take the drugs or not, it's up to you. So you can experiment in 3 days. The first day, don't take the drugs. And the second day, you have to be very frightened, or you are afraid or doubt. And you take a pill. Then you can see, you can measure the level of your immune strength. Because when I'm teaching you, I experiment. So you can control it to go up and down. You can control your mind. Whether with your mind you can control the symptom, whether it is getting worse or better. You need to check. As you are a doctor, you can check easily. You don't need to, because you know your body before you're taking the pill and after you take the pill, to see how the symptom. If you feel much better inside your body or you feel worse in your body, you know. I want you to experiment the effect of the drugs. In that way, when you are in a level 20, I explain for you. Most of you, as you believe in God and the deities, for that reason, after 19 level that you've gone through, I tell you the truth. All of the humans on earth, they all say that they believe in Christ. They say they believe in Buddha. Everyone say that they believe in the deities. That is the humans. As we decide to yield our faith to the deities. When you are suffering in pain or sickness, you pray to the deities. You yield to the deities. Now the deities let you take care of yourself. Now you still pray to the deities. So you can see a step at a time. In the past you pray and pray. Now to this class you don't have to pray. Remember. And let me continue. There are a number of cases. For those of you in Europe, every year millions of people that come to the south of France in Lourdes, and they drink the water from the faucet, and then they drink and they got healed because of their faith in the Virgin Mary. They believe in her energy. That's why they get healed. So now you go to the temple and you pray for Buddha to heal you. You pray to Christ to heal you. Is it right? When you are sick. But then when Christ tell you, when you pray, do you believe in Him? You believe in Him, then why should you don't take the medicine? But then you do not. So you don't have faith. You believe in Buddha, you believe in Christ with the ability to help mankind, to create all the living creatures. You believe in God. God can create everything. You understand all the concept. But then God tell you not to take drugs. But you say, no, you have to take drugs. Then you see the drugs more than God. Today I teach you this. So you see the pills is more power than Buddha and Christ. You are afraid of dying. So even if you're dead, Christ and Buddha can take you back to the paradise, to the heaven. But you pray to Christ and Buddha, but you don't believe in them. So today in a level 20, I share with you in practical way. The lecture that I share with you, I had experiment all through. I tell you the truth, I try them all. I try from the time I practice. I experiment when I meditate inside the water, submerged in the water. I experiment with fear, without fear. All of those situations I experiment through, so I give you the lesson. So for you to research, especially for those of you in the field of medicine, doctor, dentist, pharmacist, you can experiment, you can see why. Once you know the effect that the deities had given to you for real, so that you are able to help other people. For that reason, I always tell you to transfer energy, to neutralize all of the excessive toxin inside the drugs. As you take the drug, in a way you are taking the energy from the deities, not the drugs, because the deities had neutralized everything already. But I have to say that everything, the side effect that you're neutralizing them, always the effectiveness of the medication to help that particular organ. In that way, you would agree. But in fact, with that pill, for example, this water people drink, they don't feel healthy, but you drink, you feel healthy. Why? They can just put in the salt and sugar just like you to mix it. But sometimes you drink it, you feel healthy, but they drink it, they may have a diarrhea attack. Salt and with sugar has no effect. When they are not used to it in the stomach, and they have a stomach pain or diarrhea, for example, or constipation, for example. But for us, when we drink, it works and you feel healthy. So this is an experiment. First, I want, for those of you who are in the medical field, you can try to experiment in medicine, so you can measure the effect as the new soul, the new energy that comes to you. These are the ones who can change to the new human in the future. I mentioned that for those who produce the drugs, but in the future, as people do not need any more drugs, when they themselves do not need drugs, then they cannot manufacture any more drugs. With the condition that the air is pure, people without the contamination in the environment, these are the factors that all of these pharmaceutical company would go bankrupt. So they, instead of spending many years to make all the profit selling drugs, but then at the end they die. So we will reach that stage to change the humans with wisdom, enlightenment, the people with true peace and happiness. I want to share with you those in the field of science and medicine. You should try to experiment, then you would know. I had experiment through from the spiritual aspect, and Teresa always experiment with the drugs. She always try whether the drugs that she can or cannot before having headaches, and she take a pill, and then when she's afraid of the headaches, she don't take it anymore, and she stop the headaches. So I share with you in the environment that we have the chance to learn, so we are able to progress in every environment, in any situation. Regarding the case of treatment, or applying acupuncture, or pharmacy, or manufacturing the drugs, especially the pharmacists. So I advise for you, you merge to the whole stockroom of the drugs, so they do not have any side effect. People, they have a problem with the liver, for example, it helps the liver, but in fact, that pill, when you merge to the pill can heal the liver without causing the side effect. If you are a doctor, if you are a pharmacist, then you can apply this to help so many people. So you do not cause the contamination in the environment or the side effect from the drugs. Sometimes the side effect that might cause some problem, we are able to help to neutralize the side effect, to help people to recover faster. Those are the patients, you are able to help them as they have to take the drugs. So now in Thailand, you can ask. So in Thailand, now you can ask.
I'm sure that this is a deep feeling of all participants of this seminar and you family all over. Once again, I want to express my precious feelings, teachings. My first question refers to your parabola about the new soul that is coming to us, replacing the old one. Let me tell you my understanding on this issue. I consider our physical body as perfect antenna that can receive, transmit, or emit universal energy on various frequencies. I see particular souls as drops of the water floating in the vast ocean of consciousness. The capacity of our antenna depends on this density or ability to interact with more vibrant pulse of consciousness or higher beings, as we use this term in our school. In fact, despite of the different density, all the drops of the water or souls are always one, in unity with the ocean. If some drop off as entity or separated from the other drops, then she is or he is in the state of samsara or spiritual darkness. I understand the seminars as increasing of our capacity, of our antenna to interact with the ocean and learn that we are one with it. I need your comment on this topic. My second question refers to the temptations of daily life that every student is facing with. You teach us how to practice, teach us how to retain our awareness 24 hours a day in order to be more useful for other beings. I know I demand almost impossible matter, because only the Buddha, as you are, could do it. Nevertheless, show us the way. Tatai.
Now, through the presentation of this student, let me share with you my experience. Now, as you know, through your journey, after 19 times of reincarnation, at the 20th time, you do not have a chance to reincarnate anymore. Forever, this soul will stay with your body to serve mankind. Do not think that you are young, you can do it completely, or you are old, that perhaps you do not have a chance to serve. Who knows who can do more or less, or cannot do it. Do not think that perhaps your level is so low, you are in the small percentage of those who fail. You may not. This morning, as I had mentioned to you, through the first question that Mr. Long in Australia had asked, when you forget in your body, you forget, you always remember that your new soul will always close to the soul of Master Dang, and they are always close to you 24 hours. You think of me, I'm there to help you with your wisdom, so you are able to deal with all of the situation, the difficult situation, including the feeling of sadness or discouraged. Master Dang do not have this ability, but then the soul of Master Dang has this ability. Tradition, culture, family, slowly you are able to overcome all of the difficulties. In that way, you are able to reach wisdom. That is a lesson in the level 20. I want to train your body to be able to accommodate the new soul that come to your body in order to serve mankind. You listen carefully. I explain carefully for you. Now, as you know, when you mentioned about the antenna, a number of you who worried that in a big antenna, from a technical aspect with the electricity, that is the human man-made energy, that they need the polarity, plus and minus, then you need a ground to avoid the case with the lightning, using like a lightning rod. You need to use ground to eliminate the damage from the lightning. But the antenna model, as I placed in Melbourne right here, with lightning that strike, even for the whole Australia, it may all converge into the antenna to help Australia without any damage in the case of lightning that from outer space that may cause damage on Earth. In the future, the antenna would be able to light up. If we can use, if we need 1 million kilowatt of electricity, it will generate 1 million just through the antenna making of copper. we use the positive pole, and that is a celestial energy. There is no problem with electrocution, even though they are converging using universal energy that can generate the electrical power. On this, these are the first people, the first and the second civilization on Earth. They have used it. They have enough knowledge to do it. But the antenna model at the present time, as I place in other countries, slowly as I'm sending to other countries, the first country who received, that is my own country with 3 antennas. Slowly from here we'll send to others as you order these antennas to contribute to help in the field science. Without a problem that caused by lightning from outer space that might cause problem to Earth, the region with lightning strike that might cause more damage. So I had prepared this. Additionally, this morning I had mentioned to you the most important part is the soul of the unknown soldier that are around for hundreds of thousands of years, millions of years in the past, billions of years in the past. They do not agree to go. They still stay around to serve to help mankind with the condition that whoever have the ability, then they can cooperate to help us. We do not have this ability. Our body do not have the ability. But then my body and your body, all of our bodies are chosen by God, by the deities. As God had given to us this ability to give us this higher soul in according with the soul from the first and the second civilization. In that way, you are able to serve mankind at this final stage. This is time that the people who have the wisdom, enlightenment, who would volunteer, who have the ability to guide these people. I don't want to say me, but the deities had given this mission to me and you, all of us. Listen carefully. I answer in precise for you so you understand. So, with our antenna, we are using celestial energy. The plus and the minus pole as one, but we are using 0 through, with the 3 circle of the antenna to generate electricity, to generate many of the special ability that we are able to apply without causing pollution in the environment. With the high voltage, we have the influence from the high voltage that causes some damage to our health and have some influence in the environment. But with celestial energy, it is clean energy. Perhaps the time would come tomorrow or a few days, not a century later, we will see this time. So we can serve mankind. I said maybe too soon, but I also pray to the deities already. At the latest, at the end of the year 2009, or as soon as maybe next month or next year, perhaps. So that the environment will be able to apply not for Masada, not for the teaching of Iwi, but for the whole world. I explained for you about one drop of the water in the ocean. That one drop, it is equal to the ocean, equal to the 5 oceans, not like one small drop that slowly mainly drop that can make the river and the lake and the ocean. A drop, it's just like one soul. But one soul, you're able to merge to the whole earth, not just one ocean. It's not that equal to one ocean or 5 oceans, but the whole earth. We are able to merge to all. Through the presentation of this student, I just want to share with you the new lessons as I have learned. I had given to you as I teach you, so that you and me, we have the opportunity to contribute to help the humankind at this time. Therefore, yesterday, on the first day of the level 20, I let you do it, so that to prepare for you for after 1 week. You applied many, you have to apply without being lazy. Even if you want to be lazy, you cannot. I do not let you sleep, especially for many of you who want to sleep. This time, I let you sleep maximum of 6 hours or 4 or 5 hours in a day. So you can work for 20 hours or 18 hours. You work without feeling tired. The more you work, the more you feel stronger. If you don't work, then you don't feel healthy. What do you want? I have 3. You work more, you work more, you feel stronger. You don't work less, you feel weaker, and you don't work, you feel sick. then I let you choose yourself. Now I let you choose whatever you want. You can choose. You want the first, the second, or the third road, whatever the road that you choose, because you ask, I answer for you. So many of the people, whether your family members, I do not know, but now you can choose whatever the road that you want to choose. Now, the second question in Thailand.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we do.
This is student from Iran, Shahin Sharifi. Dear Master, I see many students from higher UE levels who are single and would remain single. Could we say that getting married would limit our mission in the spiritual path? Is that why the higher souls does not allow these students to get married? How can we find our soulmate? The second question. In the last level 18, about a month ago, you mentioned that you are the main soul who has come to earth to help mankind. Are the souls of north, south, east, and west, and those souls who are responsible for the heating and rain on the earth are subordinate to your soul? Do they listen to your words? Are we able to merge with them and send them back to deities in order to have control over the climate on earth by using our soul's ability in this level 20 so that we bring calmness and peace on planet earth? Thank you, Master. Oh.
You're looking very good, Stefan.
Through this question, this is a very clever lesson for you to learn. Don't ask. Okay.
Sorry.
You need to remember this is a very clever lesson for you to learn in this level 20 as this student from Iran who come to Thailand who ask. In the case of if do not think that you are married, you have problem, or you are single, you have problem. The case between the husband and the wife from the principle of Master Dang, as I learned after 34 years, I'm still confused in terms of relationship between the husband, the wife, parents, children. Master Dang had learned after 34 years, for the first time, the deities had revealed to me. I dare to sacrifice my family, my life, the body and the life of Master Lảo UNG MINH ĐÁNG from the time when I left Vietnam 22 years ago to go abroad. The first person that I pray, as the first time when I pray to the deities, I dare to sacrifice my own body in a way. You know how I sacrifice? Meaning, I do not, I make a vow not to be close to a woman or either a lover or a spouse. I accept to sacrifice that 22 years ago. When I'm prepared to go abroad, I receive a very long message. I have to live as a normal person, do not change the body, just like a person that cannot have a family life, so that in the future I can prove that the body Master Lảo UNG MINH ĐÁNG is there any difference and without any surgery. The important part is when I received the message 34 years ago, the important part that as I am the Master Dang, can I help my soul to evolve? Do I have the ability to help the soul of all the living creature to evolve? This is the top priority that God has chosen my body to do it. It is not to choose the body to be the Master Dang like right now, so that you have a career, name and fame, wealth, and with a beautiful wife, a house, a luxury house. No, God doesn't choose the body of Master Lảo Minh ĐÁNG like that. So whatever I want to do, I can just do it. Whether I can succeed, and God would choose. If I can do it, then I do it. If not, then God will block me. So I do not have the right to love. My point here is, so a person I really love, I cannot. A person I really love, I could not. And a person I do not love, and I have to love. For example, this the life of Master Lảo Minh ĐÁNG I want to share with you. It is not that I'm complaining, but I explain for you on that point. The point that is so important, meaning we are able to help the soul of all the living creatures and our own soul, whether we can help them to evolve or not. But I did not imagine that many times I had evolved, many times I have changed the soul, but my students also 19 times have gone through the changes. In the recent seminar as well as this morning, I mentioned to you, sometimes you feel discouraged, sometimes when you feel hatred or anger, or you feel discouraged, or sometimes when you go to higher levels, you see the change in your personality because a newer soul come to you, do not accept your body to do this. So that cause your body to do something else between the husband, wife, family members. They all disagree with you because you are so difficult. In the past, you were so easy, for example. Or in the past, you were so easy, now you are so difficult to deal with. So everything has changed in you. So you can learn the good and the bad lesson. You learn the good and the bad lesson. So everything in the morning you may say it's good, and in the evening you say it's bad. And then even your children, sometimes you cause problem to them. And you can say that you are right, that man is bad. You criticize that person. And the moment that you say like that, and in the morning you are like this, in the afternoon you are different, because the soul is there to teach your body. So no matter how you try to say, you are always wrong, because the soul is constantly changed in you. That is how you live through as you see it. Each time when you learn yêu, you can see the change in your soul. In Vietnamese, they say that in the morning it is sunny, and at night it is raining, for example. Just like in the newspaper, Parimatch, meaning you are mad. That is in your in Vietnamese, we keep on saying that Parimatch, but meaning you are mad, meaning you have a mental stress. In a simple way, in Vietnamese, meaning that you are possessed by many of the beings. But that is the Vietnamese, the slang to refer to people with constantly change in the personality. In summary, the important part for us, how we can help all the soul of the living creatures. Now it is all of you. So you cannot be lazy now. You say that you love your parents, family members, then you are lazy, then you cannot help them. But if you do not help, even though for those you hate, you do not help them, but these are the ones that you really love. You have to take care of them. That's why you are not lazy. That is how I share with you. So you can understand in level 20, I clarify everything for you. So in the case between the husband and the wife, you are just like two person with a common ground. If you have a sincere heart to help, meaning to help your soul, to help the soul of other people, these are your family members in the past, the present, and the future. They are no strangers to you. Sometimes, when you are free, you can help more. Sometimes you think you have the family life, you are so busy, but you are not. Sometimes you have the more family with a family life. Sometimes you are also free. You are free here, meaning you have many means to help you to practice, to help other people. And between the husband and the wife, whether they divorce and let's say, and then whether they accept or do not accept each other, that is very minor in the human world. In a teaching of Lảo to the student in level 20, eventually the environment has changed completely. It doesn't mean that suddenly you find a wife, or you are single, or you're divorced, or a widow. That's not it. Your soul, the new soul in the level 20 would change completely for you in a very simple way, meaning that everything would be smooth for you. Even if you encounter problems, they will help you to go smooth. In a path that you may have discouraged or you hate people or dislike, so now whether they say or they leave, so that both you depart, but you still have one common ground, and that one common ground, sometimes you are high and that person is low, and they have to depart. Even if you don't want to, they would depart from you. Because the difference in opinion, one is to think to help mankind, even both you want to think of helping mankind. One who do not want to help mankind, including the family members, they do not want to help. My point here is the two road. You are not able to see this, but your soul can see this to help you always in a positive way. My point is whether you stay close, stay far. Right. Sometimes you stay close, but it is not easy for you, or it's rather to live far away. Eventually, the deities will plan carefully for you, so you have the light of joy as a new soul come to you. It doesn't mean to cause you sadness or suffering. You need to have the light of joy. That is a new soul that help you with the opportunity. When I present to you on that point, that I also prepare for you, and I request you and I remind you to do it from the first day of the level 20. Listen carefully. I said very precisely. So on the first day, yesterday, the first person who asked the question in Australia, I also promised already. I promised, so I keep my words. You want to ask about a divine plan, my answer are also revealed to you, the divine plan, depending on your level of understanding. You can research further. All of the questions that David Yang had asked, starting from the second day and on, I answer to reveal to you the divine plan, even though it is not the same question from David Yang. Just like the question you ask about whether you want to have find your spouse or stay single or not, I just give you the answer. But it is also to reveal to you the divine plan. You are in the level 20. You need to open your mind so that you are able to prepare to meet the new soul, the higher soul, with a lot of capacity. That the divine plan that I share with you, so it's easy for you to understand. It's not like the prophecy that thousands of years ago they revealed, and it's so difficult for us to decipher. But now, as I mentioned to you, and you see the answers, you need to open your mind to understand better. Listen carefully. How come in the previous seminar I advise for you to practice? How come in this level 20 I tell you to do it right now? And next week you will do even more than today. Just like yesterday, listen carefully. So if you want to ask about the divine plan, I will reveal to you. And if you don't want, if you don't understand, that I don't answer. That's all. You listen. As you listen, whether you listen or not, I will answer the next part of your question. So now you talk about the soul. I explain for you, so you listen. Each they have their own mission. And this level, I have explained in level 13 already. If you are president in a country, but how come you are the president? You are the president of a country. With your visa, you go to enter any country. The officer at the port, let's say he's only a lieutenant, or even a normal person, but the duty of that person, all the people who enter the country, he has to put a stamp on the visa with his authority to who presenting a country. But that person is not a president. He's only a lieutenant or even a normal person, a normal citizen. You come with your passport. His duty is to stamp on and sign his name. Without his signature, you cannot enter. So you listen carefully. Let me continue. Each of these beings, north, south, east, west, north, south, east, west, they have their own mission out in space. But then, for you have the mission to protect the earth, to help the humans to evolve. So, with their mission, whatever you request, they follow. Because it is our mission to do this, and they are the one, as the deity had guided them, when Master Dang and you request them, then they have to do it. The mission of Master Dang, the mission of all of you, our mission is to help the humankind. Billions of these people here, and here over here there are only 8, north 2, south 2, east 2, west 2, 8 of them. But here there are 6 billion souls, and 6 billion souls of the human right here. But 1,541 of you, the higher soul who come here, either you're equal or even higher than this soul. I do not want to mention about me. So I pray, and you pray, they are ready, willing to support us. That is our common mission as God had given to all of us. We combine our effort to contribute to help the humankind on earth. That is how I give you a very simple explanation. If you don't understand, you will. It is not that we have the ability more than them. They have their own mission that God had given to them. You and me, we all have our mission that God had given to us. So we all combine our effort together. That is a spiritual path. Now, as we have the ability with our spiritual path, we combine with all the souls on earth so that the human can really love the human can really help the human. Then everything will be peaceful on earth where we are now. That is my mission, your mission. All of us combined together, the human can really love the human. It is not in a fake sense. We love with our soul and our body. Then the human, we will have everything at this time. That is how I share with you. So now, the next question.
Sorry.
No sound.
We have no sound. So you ask her to start again as soon as we have sound.
Together with other universal energy students when there are certain accidents in the region, when I have flow 20 and they have lower levels, or do you recommend us to meditate separately, not together with them?
Thailand.
And second, can I join all
the problem with the microphone
of toxins, and how often can I be merging all those produce in the supermarkets? And the last issue, dear Master, I'm living in the region which is difficult in Russia. There are plenty of wars and catastrophes going on. Would you allow us to buy an antenna and also the big pyramid and also big antenna for our region? Thank you very much, dear Master.
Sorry, Farhad, we lost the beginning of the question. I'm very sorry for that here.
Can you repeat the question, Farhad? We barely can hear anything. We don't hear anything.
The volume is very distorted.
Yes, I do. Do you hear me?
Yes, it's okay now.
Yeah. Should I ask to repeat the question?
Yes, can you repeat
Yes,
the
sir,
question? But you speak slowly so we can catch you.
Well, I can only ask the lady to repeat. I can summarize the question, or I can ask her to repeat and translate simultaneously. Which would you prefer?
If you have everything, go ahead and summarize slowly for us.
Well, I was translating simultaneously. I was not recording it.
Okay, then you ask her to repeat.
Okay, thank you.
Просит повторить вопрос. В тот момент не было связи с переводчиком, который переводит для мастера.
Да, пожалуйста. Да, пожалуйста.
Добрый день.
Dear Master Dang, dear Lady Teresa, I'm very happy for God Almighty to bring me into this school. I thank you, Master Dang. I thank your great soul that is bringing us this important knowledge. My question is, should we be thanking level 19 soul that was helping us and leading us, guiding us,
and is leaving us now and welcoming level 20 soul that would be with us now forever, for eternity? Secondly, can I meditate together with other level students in case there is an accident in our region, or should I be meditating separately? Then a question about merging. Would you allow us merging the produce, the fresh produce in supermarket for the consumers to be buying good produce without toxins? I'd like to underline, to bring to your attention, dear Master, that I'm living in Caucasus, a very difficult region of Russia. We are having lots of wars and conflicts in there, and thus ask your permission to buy large pyramid and also large antenna for our region. Thank you in advance, dear Master.
Dạ xin hết thưa thầy. So now through your question, let me answer for you, so you have the means, you are able to learn and progress. Now, more or less, I will reveal to you before the end of the seminar. Most of you, more than 1,500 of you, you have a sad feeling. I know it's not like in the past. But then, my soul, even though I'm close to you, through my singing, as we are going to depart after the 20th, level 20th, and you are about to greet the new soul in the level 20 to come to you to help you, so you have the ability to help other people around the world. So as you pray, you welcome a new soul, but then your body, you will feel a sense of sadness. In a very simple way, you just have unreasonable sadness. It is not. Because you are departing like the humans, as you are here 5-7 days together, as you are leaving each other, you feel sad. Now this soul in level 19 help you to merge, help you to develop on a spiritual path, help you in a material way. All this way, as it leave you, you feel a sense of sadness. So as I mentioned to you, like right here, Master Lảo UNG in front of you, you do not know. In the life of Master Lảo UNG, the happiest moment is when I see the student, whether for a long time or a short time. Whenever I see any of my students, anywhere that you come, directly or indirectly, from any country, any student, from any religion, any race, you come to see me, I feel happy, whether it is I teach you directly or indirectly. But each time, at the end of the class, when I sing with my singing voice and sending energy to you, each time like that, my soul going through a change, a lot of changes. I feel sad. On that sense, I feel sad, a sense of sadness. So there's no exception for you. This time it is different than other, because this time there will be no more changes in you. Forever, the new soul will stay with your body, and the presence of the high being that has been many times in many time. It's not like the recent one. Listen carefully. These are the ones who are around for a long time. These are the souls who have been here for millions and billions of years in the past. Now they come to merge with you to help mankind. Listen carefully. That is how I share with you. When you come to the level 20, I explain this point for you. It doesn't mean that I advertise for you that you come to level 20 and then the highest soul will merge with you. You have the ability. I never introduce that to you. When you come and I teach you, and then I start to share with you. That is how I share. So if you want to pray to your soul as it depart and to welcome a new soul, there's no problem with that thinking. On the first part of your question, through that part, I want to share with you about my life in the level 19. I know forever the condition of the soul. So I continue on with the journey. As I had mentioned to you, This is not the first time. From the first time when I taught, that was in 1989, about 18 years ago. Each time when I teach, more or less, after the class, as the student leave and I go on my aircraft, and when I return home, when I go home alone, it feels the happiness moment ended after the end of the class. That happened constantly after 18 years of my teaching. My life is always stay with the students. I have the love toward the students. Because in my life, the body has been chosen by God to teach. As God has chosen me to help you, to guide you, so that we all together holding hands to help the soul of all the living creatures to evolve. Listen carefully. It doesn't mean to help the human of the body of the human. Listen carefully. That is how I share with you on the first part, as the student had mentioned. On the second part, I answer for you. Now, you don't have to worry when you are in level 20. Everything that happened, even if you do not know, you will know. If you don't hear it, you will hear it. Whether it is through the news media, if you don't have a chance, you will hear it. As the soul will warn you, so you know, and your body is aware of it, you transfer energy, so you don't have to worry about this. You don't need to pray or to go here and there to meditate together. This is the fastest link by universal energy. The telephone is still slow. By the thought, it is faster. So on that, you don't have to worry. Each of you have your mission. Then with your mission, and you can apply more or less, or all together, you do it. So on this, you don't have to worry about it. Or that you have to have more or a small group of people. If you know first, and you try to do it first. If you know later, you do it later. It's the same, more equal effective. As the question from this student, I want to share with you. Any of location that you come, you can transfer, and you can come and then you can merge. In the past, you don't have the ability. You plant the seed, the Bodhi seed, and the seed of love in a limited sense. But now you can plant the seed of love to the humans and as well as all living creatures. But with the food, as you buy, at that moment you transfer energy, you are able to neutralize all the toxic. But for those who are fortunate, they can receive that food, and when they bring home, and then the next time, the new produce, when they bring out to sell, if the second or third time when these food are contaminated, then the people may have poison, but the people in the past, they don't have the problem. It's an example. So at the moment when you transfer energy, it is these people are fortunate, but do not be surprised that when you transfer energy, those that come to buy the produce first, when you transfer energy, at that time when you are there, let's say with 300 kilogram of meat or 300 kilogram of vegetable, and then you transfer energy, and those who buy it, and then when they sell them all, and then the new batch of the meat or the vegetable are contaminated, the next group of people, they buy it and they may have problem. It's like in the supermarket. In the past, I advise for you to transfer energy, and now, let's say you go to the car, when you travel through the journey from point A to point B, when you are driving from point A to point B and then returning home from point B to point A, when you pray, then on the road, the deities receive through your prayer, they help you, so your journey is safe, to avoid the case of accident that may happen, to avoid the case of accident that may happen to you. This is something you can do. You can try to practice so you get used to it. This is the fastest way, and also the happiest way for you. This is the way I tell you to practice, to prepare your mind when you need to emerge, when you need to travel here and there. You can do that in a split of a second. I tell you, if unfortunately we have an accident, that you are about to die, if you still have the conscious mind, you will be very clear. You can ask your soul to merge to person A or person B, for example. Then person A and person B will come to help. If you have a lot of merits, as I mentioned to you, then your soul will help you. Your soul will continue on, and that new person will continue on with the job that you left off. And in this class, there's a number of you who had asked about the antenna. The person who manufacturer this man, but his wife is in the level 20, but he didn't have the chakra open 30%. He's a technician. He's doesn't have the free time. As you ask me, then it is okay, but I have to ask him whether the time, how much time it takes. But if I agree, it might take a longer time. It's not for a short time, because to make one of the antenna, it takes a long time. And he has his own work also, even though he asks all the people who help. But I will record. Then you can perhaps contact, and then with Miss Kim in Melbourne here. And then you can ask either the center to contact or the center over here to send email, and then you can contact her. Then the condition, the criteria, how you can place order, you contact her. Then once it is done, then she can send to you. So now in Russia, I see that you have asked several one. So I would consult with her. I would announce to you, or you can contact directly to my email in my Australia. I don't know about the email address. You contact my Australia, then I will answer for you, and I'll give you the email of the person who produced the antenna, so you can contact her. You can send, and I will. You can send it to my Australia, my email in my Australia, and then I will forward the email to her. If you, a lot of you ask me order, you have to write clearly the address, your phone number, your email, or your fax number. Then they would be able to contact you. You can send like that. Then I will forward your request so she can contact you. Through your question, in fact, if you research through the books, as well as research here about the messages and the archaeologists, whatever they wrote is only 30% truth, but they're influenced by tradition, culture, family, society. But when you read and you are able to decipher 30%, then you know whatever I do, it is not from Master Dang or from the Iwi family, but it is from those who are ahead of us million and billion of years, who are now returning back to carry out to help mankind. Because at the final stage on earth, the human will have wisdom and enlightenment to learn a new lesson, a new people. The new lesson, the new people, the first that is the first civilization on earth they did not learn. That is how I share with you. So the means that I help you to learn to practice, the antenna, the pyramids, or the sun, or one way or another. Eventually, people do the same, but they don't have energy. How come they mix with the salt and sugar? There's no effect. How come with the Iwi water there's no formula? There's no effect. And you use the Iwi water, and they use the same thing to take the shower, and they have problem. That will be in the future. Now with the program that I sent to you, it is not from me. It is not the idea from the body of Master Dang, but it is the message I received from the deities to carry out for me, for the Iwi student from each level at the time. So you can improve your immune strength, your health. You have the ability to contribute to help other people. I hope after this class, for those of you in Asia, in Europe, in America, you have the opportunity, including in Africa, you have a chance, you apply the technique that I had sent to all of you regarding the technique to practice in the warm water. So now in Australia, now in Holland and Thailand has asked, now in Australia you can ask.
Thank you. Master, thank you very much for all the teachings you've given us. And Lady Teresa, thank you for all the support you're giving us to MEL Toronto as well. The students from MEL Toronto send their very, very dearest love and regards from Master and you. Master, when you say we merge with objects, fruits, we merge with regions and so on, the thought that comes to my mind is we say there's a soul in every single thing. There's a soul. There are atoms in every single thing. What happened with the souls in all those object, fruits, and things like that? Do we help them on their evolutionary path? Now, the second thing that I would like to say, Master, is that whatever you say, I say, how high should I jump? Master, if you say jump, I say how high. Because I have taken the time to prove all the techniques you've been giving us, and my goodness, they are so amazing. So, for example, a little while ago when you talked about practice to discard, slowly the medications that we take, that is so true. In 2004, I was really riddled with cardiac problems. And in 1998, when I took a cardiac test, all my cardiac signs were out of whack, triglycerides, everything else. And out of a rate of 0 to 6, when they give me a cardiac summary, I was working in St. Lucia then, my cardiac risk out of a range of 0 to 6, it was 6.2. And that was before MEL, and I was on high blood pressure pills like crazy. I was on 2 high blood pressure pills. Sometimes my systolic would be 220, diastolic 110, and so on, and it was really bizarre. But MEL has, in 2004, I think after I did the 13++ course, I really began to pay attention to my cardio system and practice all the techniques you gave us to still our heartbeat and bring it down to 5 and so on. And that was from level 13 onwards. And I must say, in the latter part of 2004, I gave up one of the blood pressure pill. And then in 2005, the early part, the second one. But I will say to you that every time I felt a pain in the back of my neck or a little slight ache on my right temple, I said, oh my God, I'm going to get a stroke. And then I would say to the mind, stop being so stupid, mind. I'm not going to get a stroke. You're fine. You're perfect. And it is that willpower that I gave it up. And, I've not had a setback ever since then. When the last pair of glasses that I wore, the optometrist gave me a trifocal lens. I had to have one for distance, which is what I started out with. Then I had close-up for reading, and the third focal I got on my pair of glasses were for computers. I've never heard of anybody wearing trifocal before, and I said, what the heck am I doing with my life again? And so I started consciously treating my eyes, and today, thank God to you, Master, I don't wear glasses anymore. So what I want to say is, guys, Master is so correct. We shouldn't be fearful of anything at all. It's just trust. The techniques he has given us, and with the guiding, that knowing that he is there always by my side. And I will say, Master, Master, I need help. I'm so confused. What do I do next? And it is that sort of trust and the word faith that I've taken all his techniques, and if I can share it with you, that is my own experience. Now, if I wouldn't be longer, just another quick conclusion. On working with other people, MEL Toronto has made tremendous progress. Level 13, Master, you since level 6 and so on, how to get rid of turbulence. Not the tsunamis within us, we're working at that, but more so looking at the environment as well. And so just about 4 weeks ago, we had on the radio, I don't have a TV anymore in the house, I throw it out because it just pumps up a lot of stuff in my head, which I don't want. But in terms of the radio, the Environment Canada came on. It wasn't enough that the radio announcer would say severe thunderstorm and people should get home early from work, and I'm thinking, oh my God, good thing I put the radio on. So I called up a couple of students in the Advanced 1 class, and I says, you've got a lot of work to do. Pass the message on to everybody else. We cannot afford to have a severe storm of this nature in Toronto and the GTA, which is about 10 million people within Toronto and the surrounding cities of Toronto. I says, we've got to clear it. And you know, Master, we apply the technique you've given us. I'm getting goosebumps just saying this, just knowing what an amazing person you are. And you know, the next day, there was no storm. Everybody's baffled. Where's the thunderstorm? People were being warned to head home early and things like that from work. So that's another level of proving the techniques. Now, at a physical illness level for others, we've recently had a case over the last couple of months. This woman had her left breast removed. She had severe cancer, breast cancer. 2 years later, she developed a severe lump over the left breast by her left chest, and it was hard as a golf ball and about a size and a half of a golf ball. Do you know that when she came to us just before Christmas, it was so interesting. There was no hope in her face and her eyes. And we just asked her one question. Look, we're not doing this. This is techniques Master gave us, and it's universal energy. Whether you believe in God or not, it doesn't matter. Know that it is universal energy that is doing this for you. It is not us. But it has to do with your faith also. Do you want to live? Yes, Vijay, I want to live. And I said, that's all we want to hear. And you know, that woman went to her doctor a few weeks later, and the doctor said, well, we've got to do chemo and radiation again. And she was so worried that her body couldn't take it. And I prayed to you, Master, that please don't let this woman have chemo and radiation again. She will just die. Do you know, faith would have it, Master, that the doctor said to her a few weeks later, we can't do chemo on you and radiation because your body cannot take it. And I says, wow, Master, you've answered our question here. Do you know that woman, we got her to open her chakras, basic class, and she's now an intermediate 1 student. She's now looking after herself. The lump is gone. Guys, it's gone completely. It just disappeared. What a miracle, Master. And there are so many other miracles that you have helped us to brought into people's lives in Toronto. We just want to say thank you. And everybody says, make sure we say thank you, Master, from Mel Toronto. Okay.
Ở cho mọi người. Dạ, xin hết thưa thầy. Through the presentation of this student in Canada, I explained for you, as I teach you in a level 20, my purpose as well as your purpose, all of our wish is to help the soul of all the living creatures to evolve unconditionally. In the past, to help a soul, there is a condition. That is because of the power struggle of the past generation for millions of years in the past. For that reason, at the final stage, for the humans, as we are continue on, just like in the past, the first and the second civilization in humankind. So for that reason, the deities who know when our soul come down here, the old soul, for sure there are power struggle. Because in the past, the soul from the first and the second civilization, or the previous civilization, that's why they've been around, they have power struggle. From then on, through the recent century or 10 centuries in the past, for the humans, we are no exception. We always have power struggle. That in the previous seminars I had mentioned to you about the problem of power struggle that caused the greatest problem in the human world, due to the fact that of the power struggle that we cause problem to the human. For this reason, at the final stage, in the decade of the 21st century, and we have many of the levels that I've been teaching you for the past recent 6 months. We have the level 19, level 20, more importantly, the level 20, to meet the demands, to rush, so that you are able to apply, to contribute, to help with the threat of this earth, meaning the global warming. Right now, they have that concern. I also know that in September, there is one of my students who would organize that represent the United Nations, and to discuss about the problem with the global warming. Every year in September, the United Nations, they will have the meeting for the first time in September through December. Each year in these 3 months, many of these diplomats representing the country, they will come to New York to have a conference with the United Nations to talk about the environment. And the main topics of the conference, that will be to deal with the global warming. For that reason, I keep on reminding you, we will have the chance to do this. On Earth, with the global warming, with the environment, we are able to solve. You and me, we are able to solve with a new soul, with a new people, with a new energy, without any limitation. I am the medium between all of these races from the past until now. The soul had never been on this earth, who live in the human world, so that my soul, as a medium to solve all the problems from the past until now, that many people, they think that they have the power. Now with that power, instead of each they have their own power, my soul will combine all of these powers so that they can all work together to contribute to help mankind with wisdom and enlightenment. That is the wish of the first civilization as well as the following civilization. But nobody can do this. I don't have this ability. My body as well as other body who are living on this earth. But my mission as God has chosen my body and sent the newest soul who never been on this earth. Only in that way I can combine all the souls from the past until now. They have a lot of ability. Today I present to you a few of these main points, very important, so that the new soul that come to you and my soul, new soul, all of us, our bodies, we can hold hands together to help mankind with the deadlock. We have the real deadlock. The first and the second and the following civilization on earth, they are more advanced, 100 and 1,000 times comparing to the human society now. We are still at a deadlock. So for sure, we will have a deadlock in the three-dimensional world. The planet, our planet, we have a 3 dimension. The people in the past, they are able to use many other dimensions, not just the 3 dimension. They have that advanced to that level, and they're still stuck. So now, only 3 dimension in space. In this planet, only 3 dimension on Earth, then for sure you are at a deadlock. On that point, that's why we have the UE teaching for the past 18 years after my 34 years of learning in UE. So I volunteered to go first to contribute to help mankind. And then you, me, all of us, we hold hands together to help mankind, to serve the communities in the world. This is not abstract. This is practical. As I'm teaching you in a practical way, so you can do it. It's not like a superstition. It's not that I'm saying it and then you have to wait for 2 centuries after reincarnation, 3 or 6 lifetimes to see it. Now, at this moment, in the first decade of the 21st century, you will see it. For those of you in the decade of the 21st century, from when you come to learn in the year 2007, that is, your body has been chosen by God. For those who in previously, it's not that they are not being chosen, but they are just the stepping stone to lead you, so you are able to come. For those who follow me many years in the past, from July 20th in 1989, now I can only count only with the fingers. Now we have only of the new students. That is by great fortune of your body, as God has chosen your body and your soul. God has sent you down here to help to serve mankind. Now I explain for you. You have the ability. When you merge collectively, you are helping the soul of all the living creatures. Just like I mentioned to you, this glass of water, there's no soul, but the soul who are living on the cup. This is from the water, the bacteria, the virus in the water. This is an inanimate object, but it contains many of these soul. You are able to help all of this soul to evolve faster. to surpass the time because of the faith that they tie with you. How come you do not transfer energy to the cup in the supermarket or in other country, but you transfer energy to this cup in this country? I explained to you already. All of us, we have the ability to have the soul of all the living creatures to evolve easily in a way that my soul and your soul, all of our soul, we merge. The body and the soul, as you are not able to see them, but these are the soul of the virus. You are able to merge to them. And in the case, as you know, not only in Toronto, Canada, all of this case of the storm, but this time with the storm, you only need to pray. The being from north, south, east, west, as they can create the rain, create the storm, they can send to leave earth, the farther the better. All of this situation, as you pray, because you have to show respect, even though they are equal or lower than you, you pray to them. That is their mission. They have the responsibility. When you request and you pray to them, they would combine with you to help earth due to the threat of earth. So now it is clear for you. Second question. I would like to greet Master. I'm from Hanoi. I would like to thank you to give us a chance to come here to learn the level 20. Can you explain for us about the formula that we are not able to understand? Yesterday, after we learned this class, on the first day, in the altar of mankind ancestor, we discuss and we share with each other until 3 a.m. We can only understand that the formula of treatment and the technique of merging, but the technique to travel out to space, we are still unclear. As we understand that before we can travel out to space, we open our eyes and we pray to your soul 3 times to merge with our chakra 6. Then, constantly, we merge to all the region, the areas, or the individuals. But the time to merge, how is it? For example, I say that I merge to Hanoi, for example. Do I have to count 10 seconds or 30 seconds to merge? On that, we keep on discussing, and we could not have a conclusion on that part. So can you explain on that for us? Secondly, when we are in level 20 with a new soul, the soul of the level 20, can we merge with the student at a lower level, meaning from the student from the level 19 and lower? Can you give us an opinion on this? Dạ con dịch xong rồi thưa thầy. So now, through this question, don't ask. Oh, okay. This is to summarize for you so you're able to learn and apply. Now let me explain for you clearly so you can understand. In other situations, you open your eyes, except when you practice to travel out to space, you close your eyes. Through the presentation of these students, when you open your eyes, you pray for my soul to merge with you. You are right. Then after you pray for my soul to merge with you, then you close your eyes. Then you start to practice. When you close your eye to practice, you can merge to any region, including the individuals. Just like you merge to the countries, as I had mentioned to you, constantly. For example, in our country, we have 6 locations. The first location you merge, and second and the third, there's no time and space. Do not do it too slow like David. He said, I transfer energy to Quang Ngai, and then to go to Quang Nam, and then go to Thừa Thiên, and go to Huế. In that way, by the time they come to Bình Định, then everybody died. So in that way, you don't fall asleep. So constantly, you cannot do not do it too slow. Do not do too slow like David. I tell you the truth because I know I stay with him. I know him. Through this is just funny because I see that you are sleepy. You can see. I tell him to take a photograph for me for the passport. My God, I buy everything. He said that 5 minutes I can come. I wear my clothing, get ready. 5 minutes for him. It is 180 minutes. He's not even here yet. By the time he said, I tell him to go home, David, I was so angry. At that time, I was so angry. At that time, I was very hot-tempered because I have a lot of water. That's why I cool down. So now let me explain further for you. When you are practicing as you are merging, it is faster. It's not a treatment. Listen carefully. So when you ask my soul to merge with you 3 times, you close your eyes. In your thought, that is, you are merging to town A, town B, town C, town A, town B, town C constantly. You have to remember, in your own country or the region where you are, you have to prepare. Do not think that you do not know where 13 and then whether you can come to Quảng Nam or Quảng Ngãi. My God, I'm in Vietnam. You go to Laos and Cambodia, and you don't know Thai or where you're going to end up. There are so many Thai. So you have to prepare in your mind. So when you merge, you have to prepare in your mind. If you start to think and you do not know where you're going to end up, that's why you have the confusion. When you're confusion like that, you have distraction. And with distraction, it disconnects you. You are not able to travel out of space. So there's no calculating time and space. You can constantly just transfer energy as you merge. You have to remember, and let's say your country, all the town, the city, the area. So I advise for you, when you close your eyes to merge all the town, province in your region that and 5, 7 of them, and suddenly you lose all sensation of your body. When you lose the sensation, as I mentioned to you, you lose the sensation for 30 seconds, or in 1 minute, 2 minutes, and when you regain back your sensation, meaning you're going back to your original state, then you can continue. You close your eyes, you continue to merge to A, B, C, D, the town, the school, the building, anywhere that you remember. You have to know exactly, so you do not disconnect in your training thought. Constantly, as you transfer, as you merge like this, then you lose a sensation. As you lose sensation, you are able to travel to space easier. Eventually, in the future, when you are able to merge here and there, as your soul merge, then your body will follow your soul travel out to space very quick. In the past, you have to transfer energy to the organ inside your body, the city, the town, because you have a lot of distraction. That's why I use the organs inside your body, so you can transfer energy, so you do not have any distraction. Without any distraction, then you can travel out to space easier. So now, contrarily, your soul travel. Without any disconnect, so you have to constantly transfer energy to the town, the city, the province, to constantly merging to them. Then suddenly you lose all sensation of your body. Just like yesterday, as well as later on today, you close your eyes. When you pray to my soul to merge with you, then you close your eye and you merge. Let's say in your group from Hanoi, 40 of you, each person, and you merge to each person. And you can practice, you can merge to anyone. When you practice, you can merge to anyone. Do not merge to a level 20 student. You merge to a level 20, then it is a problem. So you choose not a level 20 student to merge. So you, when you practice, you do not merge to a level 20. So I answer for you as well, many of you, so you can understand. So in summary, from the level 19 down, you can merge to any of them easily. So you practice. So now I tell you on this, as you know, the parents, they have sickness. So Instead of practicing your parents, sometimes you will forget. Sometimes you forget your parents. Sometimes, first of all, oh my God, that lady, she had 12 children. She could not remember their name. In America, I know 12 children. They just tell them to go up to the and then she forgot. She had 12 children. They tell them to go on the car, and the next day she prepared 12 meals, but 2 of them are missing. In fact, they are missing in her friend's house. So for you, people in your group, you may remember them because each day you see them, your friends, and you need to remember, even if it's the same name, but you have to know the exact one. So you need to remember each person to know exactly, so you can merge with them to practice. So that is one of the environment to help you to practice. So you are practicing and you also are helping that person. Sometimes the person is healthy, but you are helping that person, meaning you are helping the soul of the cell in that person. Let's say you are learning like now in your group. You know all the people in your group, so you can practice because right now they are not the level 20 yet. I allow you to practice so you can merge. If you don't remember many people, I tell you, as you are used to it, when you merge to many of these regions, suddenly you lose all sensation of your body. When you lose the sensation of your body, as I had mentioned to you with my experience, then when you want to merge, you are able to merge and you lose all sensation. I tell you the truth. At this moment, right now, I'm in meditative state. My mouth is talking. My eyes, I'm looking at you, but I'm in a meditative state. This is the level I can reach. In the past, when I was meditating, the moment I pray to the deity, I close my eyes. The moment I meditate, I receive the message right away. I want to train you to be like that. So now you transfer energy to 5, 7 locations, but in the future, as you pray, my soul merges with you. The moment you just merge to person A, suddenly you lose all sensation of your body. Then you travel out to space. Because when you are in a level 20, your soul can merge to you, your soul travel and your body will follow. It's very fast. Later on, before the end of the day, you can practice. You pray to my soul. Then when I say you're ready, and I merge with you, you close your eyes. You merge to any regions, any individuals. Slowly, perhaps today you have 7 locations, perhaps tomorrow you have 6 locations, or 5, or 3, 2, 1, or you just merge with one location, suddenly you lose all sensation. That is a good sign for you, but I also advise for you, more or less, you have visited the mankind ancestor here. I advise for you to merge to the altar in mankind ancestor, and you merge to the statue of Mary, the statue of Kuan Yin, the monument of also unknown soldier, or the antenna. By the time you just do it to 3 of them, and suddenly you lose all sensation of your body. So this location I help you. If you know the exact location of this area, then you can merge these 5 locations. The altar of mankind ancestors, the statue of Buddha, the statue of Kuan Yin, the antenna model, the monument of unknown soldier, and after this you can merge to anywhere. So that you are used to it in the practice of merging.
Okay, thank you, Master. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you. I rather read because English is not my mother language, so I'm going to read. It's easier for me. Master Dan, in your recent interview, Mekong interview, you said that industrial development was based on the resource of petroleum and minerals, which is a fossil energy that was hidden underground. You also refer of this evil energy, which can destroy the environment and cause a lot of suffering in every aspect of life. Yes, I'm sorry. Again? Let's find vous. Since Venezuela is one of the world's largest producer and exporter of oil, and instead of being a very rich country with a population without suffering and wealthy, it's all the contrary. It's going through a very difficult situation in all aspects. Social, there is a lot of violence. So I am concerned if there is any connection with what you said in your interview about evil energy. Could you elaborate more about that? Thank you, Master.
Yes, xin hết thưa thầy. Now, as you know, the message in Mekong, I mentioned about the petroleum underneath the earth. It may cause some problem if we do not know how to use them. That around the world, most of the people, we know it is dangerous, but we still use it because of the economy for the country, and furthermore, the global economy. There's a link. The reason I use the terminology that talk about the evil energy, that is a normal terminology in the human world. But if we know how to use it, we do not cause problem, then they will leave us alone. All of this mineral, petroleum, as we exploit from underground, and we are causing the problem, that may cause a problem to the climate. That is from a scientific perspective. As we know, when you exploit many of this and all of this fuel, petroleum, you are sending a lot of pollution to the air. That's why we cannot live up to 300 years. In the past, the human on Earth, in the third era, the youngest, they live up to 300 to 600 years, but now we can live only up to 60 years. And the country with a lot of petroleum, using a lot of this oil products, you have the contamination in the atmosphere, then the human lifespan is less. You can see many people who working in the mine in Australia many centuries ago, as they are digging for gold. The oldest one can live up to 30 years. As they live underground, the air is contaminated, and due to the greed, as they are poor, they see the gold, and when they bring up, so they swallow them to carry out. In the teeth, they bite them, and then they have problem with their teeth. So that's why they cannot live more than 30 years of age. In the past, without exploiting diamond, gold, or petroleum, in the past, the lifespan, human lifespan, they can live up to 360, 600 years. Now you don't see anyone who can live up to 150 years. And the oldest one, only very few people who can live up to 130 years. So you can see that is a condition. I give an example. That is the poison, just like the evil that is causing problem as we are provoking them. Because this is the link to international economy, because we are tied to the material. Now all of this who produce them, they have a lot of concern. These are the people who are the scientists, the billionaires. Do not know when, whether it is a disaster, catastrophe, tsunami, and drought. In a case where we caused a problem in the recent months in Chile, one of the large lake, and suddenly it just drained all the water from the lake. That has been known all over the world, not just me. That was in the last level 19 in Chile, who revealed to us, and we show all of the students in the level 19. You have seen the real, the lake has been totally dried up. As I received many messages, but the message that I want to share with you is only a partial. Slowly, I try to train you, to guide you, so you can prepare to contribute to protect the earth that we are have a very strong threat. The scientists give up. They surrender unconditionally. They cannot help. So, anywhere with the disaster, the problem, the scientists cannot help. But I had explained to you already. Over here, 50 meter. Over here, 50 meter. Both sides they have a problem, but we are in the middle. We don't have a problem. That is a big question mark. That for us, as we do it, for ourselves, not for others. So the environment, that as I had designed all of the lecture, the lesson that I taught you many years ago, 12 years ago, from the level 5-1, you can see a person who is almost dying from Europe, from America, or from Asia. You just think and you transfer energy to that person remotely, and the person can be revived, and only a level 5-1. In a case of emergency sickness, and you sit over here to transfer energy in a level 5-1 without any limit of the distance, in 5-7 days the person is cured. That is only a small task now. In a bigger task now, you are learning about it. Today is the second day. You have 5 more days. The bigger task that you have to face, we try to learn. You do it yesterday, you do it today, next week, you do it 10 times, 100 times more. Listen carefully. When you go home, so you can stabilize, then you continue to do it. If you don't have any place to live, you come to Melbourne from Vietnam to come over here. It's so far. Anywhere you don't have any place to live, you can come to Melbourne and prepare the altar. With 5 plus 60 of them, so now the people, the Vietnamese, they sleep just like in the sardine can. The woman, they stay in a room. The men, they stay on the floor. They sleep on the floor. You think it's on the 4th floor, but you have 4 lines of they divide and sleep on the floor. That is how I share with you. The scientists, they research in their own field of science. You and me, we research the message from the deities. The message as the deity revealed to me 34 years ago, and revealed to me after 34 years. I could not believe in the past. I tell you the truth. I share with you a 5 minutes story. The deities revealed to me. At that time, I did not believe. The deities tell me when, with the nuclear radiation, we can use this radiation, nuclear radiation, to help people to prolong their life. My God, I'm not a scientist. I do not believe in that. 34 years ago, you talk about nuclear radiation, and that I can use nuclear radiation to neutralize, to help people to prolong their lifespan. I know radiation is a killing substance. In Hiroshima, we can see the damage. Just one atomic bomb with such energy that kill a lot of people. So you can see now the deities revealed to me on that. I do not believe. Just like Buddha had mentioned 25 centuries ago, Buddha wasn't right. Now you know it is right, but it takes 25 centuries later to realize it. But I'm not like Buddha, but the deities taught me that I do not believe, even though I really have faith. But through the journey, as I go from point A to point Z, from the beginning phase, when I learn to apply through my journey, when I taught you the level 16, I only believe 99%, not 100%. I tell you the truth. When I taught you the first level 16 in Australia, I mentioned that all of my wish and desire I have seen, but I only believe in a detail 99%. The 1% I do not believe. You know why? I do not believe. They give the poison that we can drink, we do not die, and nuclear radiation, we are able to neutralize. That is formula the deities have prepared for all of us to see. When there air contamination that we breathe in the air, we can live long. That will be the real one. Then we can live forever. I say that to live long is a very problem, but at least to live 600 years or 1,200 years, meaning 600 years, that is a young death or a longer death. That meaning you stay around for 1,200 years. You can keep your body just like this. That will be the best. In that way, we take the bath with the warm water constantly. Taking the bath, then you can live 600 years, and you look like a 600. You have to have the cane, and then you rather die. So now, as you ask through my lecture, I hope that we have a chance to contribute in many ways now as well as in the future. In the future, meaning this month or next month, it doesn't mean that you have to wait for 10 years or this is the future, this is this month or next month. We have the opportunity to have in many situations that may happen, that you have a chance to contribute. That's all I can say. So you try your best to learn so you can apply. Now it's time for Holland to ask.
Querido mestre.
Dear Master, before everything I would like to salute you and all your family. I would share an experience with you that happened to me after level 19. When I arrived to my country, that's Portugal, I went to get some water to a fountain with natural water where many people go to get water to drink. I had almost 80 liters, and when I arrived home, I changed it into Yui water. After about 3 days, I saw that most of the water was not clear. It seemed to me that it has small particles of light in suspension. Beside that, I didn't matter. I continued to drink that water, but my family hesitated and was not happy about the way it looked and stopped drinking it. I kept on drinking, nothing happened wrong to me. After some days, I decided to see what was wrong with that water. I'm a doctor, I work in a laboratory, and decided to see in a microscopy what was happening. I made some cultures used to the growth of bacteria, and the bacteria grow normally, but when I observed them at the microscopy, it showed different particles of bacteria, but those bacteria didn't move. So I decided to color them, to examine them better to a more profound level, to see if what kind of bacteria were exactly. And I had a big surprise, because when I observed at the microscopy, those bacteria didn't hold no ink. It seemed like auras without no physical barriers. Usually they should keep the walls of those cells should retain that ink, but there was no. It was as the bacteria had no wall, no cell wall. It looked like there was no matter, just light. My question is, with this energy transfer, I managed to change the matter of those bacteria and elevate them spiritually and change them in something not physical. That was the sensation I got with this experience. Can we, without no problem, drink this water? Can he be beneficial to our health? But because they work as a vaccine to stimulate our immune system. Thank you, Master. I would have an explanation about this experience. I say goodbye with lots of love for you.
Through the question from a doctor in medicine, as you know, this is not the first time all of the students in level 13, 13 plus, in level 13, 13 plus in Europe, you only use salt and sugar. That's for the first time. As advice for you to use the salt to store the water. After 3 years, as you research, the water, the quality is better than the pure water. From a normal principle, water with the salt, without our energy transfer, then the water will turn bad. Perhaps the bacteria may be poisonous to health. So through this, I share with you, Teresa is also a medical doctor, as you know. With the salt, the amount of salt and sugar, as we mix for us to drink, as it also has some of the bacteria, as you add in the amount of salt and sugar, and in that water, it has some of the bacteria. And just like in Vietnam, when they are trying to make a vinegar, but a number of you, when you see that, you do not dare to drink, including Teresa, but I see it and I drink it. It has a way to enhance the immune system. A number of you, you are afraid, you do not dare to drink. And I tell you, if you do not want to drink, you can discard it. But you know, salt and sugar and water, in a normal way to mix it, there is no effect to our body. The only one effect that is with our energy transfer, meaning for those of you in the level 19, you just transfer energy, you do not merge. In fact, I'm your master. When I taught you in level 19, I do not merge. When we start, as a deity taught me, as I can teach you the level 20, then I would merge. I merge ahead of you. It doesn't mean that I'm the master, I have the ability. No. I follow the right technique and guideline just like you. It doesn't mean that I'm the master, I can merge anywhere with my free choice. As I learned, the important part for me from the time when I'm a master, the deities taught me, I believe. But I asked the deity to allow me to do it. When I see the result, then I can teach. Without the result, I do not teach. That is my condition. The first person who applied it is me. Just like when I apply, then Teresa applied with me in the way of submerging with the warm water. That is to measure the effect between the man and the woman. When we mix the water, as my soul merged with that water, and to see how the effect when we meditate in that water, and the result I want to share with you, so you have a chance, you are able to apply to do this. Through the presentation of this medical doctor, as you know, for matter, you are able to transform into that energy. Listen carefully. From people with names, we can change to no names. According to the interview that I had with the students, from a physical, we can change into an energy form. From energy to change into matter, it is easy. But from matter to change to energy, it is so difficult. I train your body first. It is not that we are turned into invisible, but we do not know how, because they did not teach us. The important part for the UE student in the level 20, for millions of years, billions of years, for those who are on earth, these are the advanced people with enlightenment and wisdom. They could not do it. I tell you, and also to all of the all the souls that are about to merge with you, they do not learn yet. As you are learning now, they come in here to merge with you. In the past, they could not merge to anyone. Even though they were the first civilization, they have the highly advanced, the best in the human world. From the first time when the human appear on this planet, now they are going into you. So they can merge to other people. They can merge to all the living creatures. These are the one, they've been waiting for it for 3 billion years. So I tell you, so you feel glad. They could not do it because it had not been taught. God did not teach this. That's why I present to you the soul Master Dang, a strange soul who never been on earth. Only in that way, these beings believe in me. If the soul is the first time on earth, or second time on earth, or the third time on earth, then I'm not equal to them, so they don't listen to me. That's why they volunteer to combine to help all the living creatures, so that we all can have wisdom and enlightenment, so that on earth we really have paradise on earth. It doesn't mean I can say anything I want. I tell you the truth. It doesn't mean I can teach anything I want. It doesn't mean that I think I have the power, I can do anything. I have to follow exactly the guideline that the deities had taught me. As this student from the field of medicine who presented to us, eventually it is you. You have the diploma from theory and from application. You are able to help the humankind. You are able to surpass in a way that you are able to merge other people. The scientists, they can sit, they can watch what we can do. Now we ask the scientists to prove in the future, in next month and next year, the scientists will learn so they can apply. And before they can see me, they have to see you. So you have to prepare on this. As you know, 15 years ago I had mentioned this already. And 15 years later, I repeat again. This time, most of these people who are the scientists, or they would learn from you, or they learn directly from me for 30 days, 45 days, or 60 days, so they can learn everything that I have taught from level 1 up to level 20. So they have their own organization, they have their own conference. You are not able to go to the final, but you can go to the semi-final. You know why? Because they think that we are low, we are not equal to them. For that reason, they need the diploma. I train you to have the diploma already. The purpose to train you so that you are able to come there, you are able to do it for real. They only learn for 2 months, but you have been learning for 18 years. You have been learning for 10 years, 5 years. That's how you are better than them. Even though from the field of research, we are not equal to them, because these people, they learn all the books in the human world. We are just follow through. But when we know how to use universal energy with the higher soul, we are able to solve all the problems, all the deadlocks. You are able to solve. Then when you learn, you go behind them, but you end up before them. Who can believe the water with salt and sugar right here? How can it have any effect? It will turn bad. But when they see some strange things, the family of this doctor who are afraid, but she have faith in the deities who believe in energy, and she drink it, and she see the improvement in their immune strength. I prepare for you the iwi water with salt and sugar, the iwi garlic water, so you can practice. Now, let's say you do not use the iwi garlic water, or use the iwi garlic water that you mix with salt, sugar, and garlic, and you will use the new technique to practice 10 minutes submerging in the warm water. If you wish, a maximum of 10 minutes, or you set the clock for 30 minutes. If you are fortunate, you can sit and meditate. Just set the alarm clock for 30 minutes, not more than that. You can measure how you feel inside your body, and it eliminates the toxin in your body. And number of you have a lot of the toxin in your body. You feel tired. You have to exercise to get rid of them. Then you can sit for 10 minutes and you can eliminate all the toxin. One time when Teresa was sick, supposedly with the sickness to sit in the water, it might get worse. Not that normally our plane, the water is 38 or 40 degree. But several days in the past, she can sit and practice in the warmer water, so that to transform the body into energy. But when she practices like that, she feels sick, and all the toxin through the sweat, and the next day she recover. Normally with the case of sickness and sitting in the water, and in Vietnam they keep on saying the case of problem Vietnamese, they keep on blaming everything. So as you know, when the scientists who had proven certain things, as I had taught you 12 years ago, to teach you how you can use the infinitely universal energy without any restriction of the distance 12 years ago. That is the time in December 1995 in Europe, in Geneva, Switzerland. For the first time, as I taught you, more or less 2,000 of you who can use the Chakra 6 in level 5.1 until now. 12 years had gone by. So now you are here more or less. You have been able to learn through it is by great fortune of your body. More or less, God has chosen your body so you can serve your country, your family, and the communities around the world. That is one of the good signs that I always want to share with you. With money, fame, fortune, you cannot exchange for this, including the love in the human world. We are not able to, because this is from the deities who give to you. It is higher than the love in the human way. But then the tradition, culture from the East, we always think more in the emotion. Similarly for the West, it doesn't mean that the East and the West are different. We all love our parents, our children. But this is the infinite love. In that we have everything. Slowly, a step at a time. As I mentioned to you this morning, eventually the deities from the past until now, the number of you have problem with opposition. Now everything will be smooth for you. Your husband, wife, parents, brother and sister, you have harmony so that you are able to have a chance to help mankind. That would include your country, your family, your people. Next question in Holland.
Maestro, saludos a Teresa. Maestro,
greetings for you, Master, and for Teresa. I have a question for you, Master, about the garlic water. You didn't allow us to give us to the babies, but nevertheless, we had an experience of a farmer. He prepared the water. He's not a UE student. He prepared this water, and the chicken has no problem. Master, is it possible that we give to the babies the garlic water as a natural antibiotic, and we can give them not 10 milliliters or 30 milliliters, but only drops? I think that it is possible because several very young women, they ask, how can we help the little babies? How can we help them to be more resistant, more stronger, and especially if we are going to face certain catastrophes, how can we help these little babies to survive? Can we give the garlic water by drops to the babies? Is it clear, Boo?
Yes, thank you. Dạ, xin hết từ thầy. Now, in general, I want the UE garlic water more than 12 months they can drink. But for the mother, as you know, the significance of the UE garlic water, as you're mixing with salt, sugar, garlic, and liquor. So I advise for you, if the infant under 12 months, So you can give a drop to the milk for them, for you. So they are used to it. When they grow up, then you can mix with the milk. When they grow up, then you don't need, then they can drink the UV garlic. If they're so young and with the salt and sugar and the garlic and the liquor, it may have some problem, discomfort in their body. So through your request, you can try to experiment with the milk. Just use one drop to see when let's say they have sickness, and you give 2 drops, for example, each day, either 1 or 2 drops. And then that is a way you are able to help them with the immune system. Now in your now you're in level 20, you have more condition, meaning you are able to merge to the food and the drinks for them, and each day you are merging to them. So you are able to help them to strengthen their immune system to avoid the case with contamination or sickness. One of the major concerns, we do not know when. Even though in America, they had sent warning to the people in America to prepare in the case of the flu epidemics. The flu epidemics that may cause problem to the lungs and perhaps would cause sudden death. So they are telling people to prepare, but how can they prepare? They don't have the enough medicine. They don't have the strong enough vaccine because the virus had mutated so fast, so strong. But the government, they have the duty to announce to the citizen, to reveal to the people to prepare. But how can they prepare? If they don't have the condition, you tell them to prepare. How can they prepare? That means to prepare their mind, so they don't have any problem, mental stress when this flu epidemic happen. If the American had sent warning like that, then for sure, not just in America, perhaps it will be all over the world. All of the strange virus that appear, if we're not able to prepare ahead of time, like in Australia here, for the past 30, 50 years until now, one of the students from Pakistan who come here, suddenly they have malaria. So in Australia, they are so afraid. They could not prepare because there is no vaccine. If in the case of the problem, then many people would have a problem because there is no vaccine. For many years until now, the virus has gone. So now if they bring the virus in here with the virus mutate, then the government here cannot do anything. So for that reason, I prepare. Very simple. The water, the antenna model, the way to merge, so we are able to solve this problem. There's no other way because there's no vaccine. Without the vaccine, how can they deal with it? That is the UV water. It is not me who makes, like in the level 19, number of you who asked not to use liquor because it's not my own formula. This is like a remedy. The liquor here to make like a medicine. It's not like a liquor for drink to get drunk. It's not that I tell you to take many shots of the liquor, but this is the liquor you're mixing with the water, the garlic, the salt and sugar. You're not drinking the liquor. You are drinking the remedy. If you accept that, you can drink. If not, I cannot change the formula because this is not my own. That is how I share with you, so you have to understand for this. This is for everyone, not just for anyone in particular. So to change the formula, if I change the formula, that would be my own formula. I can change anything in the way I want. The deities give us so we can protect our health, to improve our immune system. The deities taught me it is not me who make it. Or I can calculate to mix the UV, to make the UV garlic water to help others. It is not mine. Now, next question.
Goedemiddag, beste Dang. Good afternoon, Master Dang. I have several questions of practical questions about new technique. First question: in the morning, 3 times pray to your soul to merge with our soul. Isn't that no longer necessary after the 29th of July, or do we have to do this also when we have the level 20 soul? Second, you said that we could merge with countries, langzaam graag, that we could merge with some countries if there are no problems in that country. We can merge with those countries, and can we also send the light of God's aura to those countries? The same question for cities and regions where there is no special problem. The antenna model that we have at home, what is the formula for the level 20 to send energy or to merge with the antenna? The UE garlic water, is the formula unchanged after level 20? Is it the same formula? And regarding the pollution of earth, water and air, and the pollution of the electrical fields, what can we do with that issue? And you also said that in individual treatment, we are not allowed to treat local places anymore, except for missing limbs or teeth. Does this include also missing organs, internal organs, like kidney, and the time that you indicated was 30 seconds for treatment? Is this really 30 seconds? The objects you gave as an example, the statues of Buddha, Kuan Yin, and Christ, that we can merge. Are there other material objects in which we can merge? What exactly can we do? I cannot imagine anything by this. What are we doing when we merge with those statues? And the souls of the unknown soldiers, I have understood now that we can merge with the monument for the unknown soldiers in Melbourne, and that because of we merge with this monument, that the souls of the unknown soldiers will start to help us. Is there a way that we can make a more direct contact with those souls so that they will follow us and help us? The last part about techniques, the sexual unification technique, will this be the same or will this be different when we finish the level 20? Thank you, Master. Sorry for the number of questions.
Now I asked them, I let you have only 2 questions, but now you have a very long question. So now let me answer for you. Now starting from today until through eternity, we don't know when. Perhaps when we meet again. And I also plan in the future, I do not have a meeting to teach you the level 20 or the level 21 as you think forever. Your soul will stay with you, except in the future, when a number of you who are the scientists or researcher, or a number of you with the diplomas, then you and me, perhaps we have a conference or a meeting for a few days or during the weekend or in an area. It is not like a seminar. Listen carefully, just a meeting. Then you continue to apply the technique to merge. And when you have a chance, either directly or indirectly, wherever there is a chance, I will let you know later in the technique to merge. Because as you know, the people who are the first on earth, these are the first civilization on earth, they were not able to merge to anyone. Listen carefully. And they could not teach anyone to merge, even though these are the most advanced, the first group of people on earth. And the following civilization, they could not able to do it. And the last one, as all of us, the deity who taught us, the deity allowed us to do it. For that reason, how come I do not say that who is my soul? And because we have no names. Your soul also have no names, because through the journey of this soul, these are the first and the second civilization. They have a lot of power. They're waiting for the chain to merge, and this is only the divine plan. If the deity did not allow, then we do not have this ability. That is a fact. So we continue on to do this until when there's a change, and I'll let you know. You continue starting from today or after the 29th of July. You continue to pray for my soul to merge with you in the morning and for the whole day. Then when you do the treatment, you don't need to ask my soul to merge with you, except when you want to merge to the statue or any object or any location, then you ask my soul to merge with you. You do not receive the light of God's aura or send. Listen carefully. Now, that country A, for example, it is peaceful. Then you, in your thought, you just merge to that country A 3 times, and you are done. And country B, country C, constantly like that. 15 country or one country to another. Then when you are done, and after an hour or half an hour later, and you want to do again for another group, then you pray for my soul to merge with you, and you do it for the antenna model. So instead of merging to country A or country B, you can merge to the antenna one time for the antenna, or you merge one time for the country A, country B, country C. Then you can count the antenna just like a region where you are. So you can do it. Listen carefully. You only merge one time, because that is an object only in the case of disaster. Let's say country A with a disaster, then you merge 3 times. You merge to the living and the dead. You can merge to help the wounded. So the dead, you are helping the soul to go to the light. The healthy people, the wounded people, you help them to recover. So you merge 3 times in a disaster area. So you listen carefully. In a normal case, a peaceful country, let's say, or the antenna right here, you merge to country A, B, or C, or you merge to antenna one time, or you merge, let's say, for example, you have 6 antenna or 6 person in your family, you merge to them 1, 2, 3, 4. When you merge, it's not that you merge all 6 together. You merge to the antenna, you merge here and there. 4 or 5 or 6 antenna, you can merge to each of them. For example, you have your parents, and whether they practice, it is their own business. With your own antenna, the antenna that you give to a family, they are not in level 20. If they practice with antenna, that's their own business. Listen carefully. When they practice, they do not merge. They can only receive light of God aura and send 3 seconds. That is for those of you who are level 19 and lower. They practice with antenna. But for you, the level 20, let's say you have your family with in 4 houses, they have 4 antennas. So this antenna over here, you merge to the antenna of your mother, merge to the antenna in your father's house, in your brothers, sisters, so you merge to all the antennas. And then later on, suddenly you forgot about your mother-in-law. Then you have to ask the soul master to merge with you, and then you merge to the antenna of your mother-in-law. Otherwise, you forget about her, then you have a problem. My God, I keep on talking. So many of you, you have with your daughter, you can see. So through this question, I want to share with you any situation you can merge. Depending on each situation, normal case 1 time, disaster area 3 times. As I mentioned to you, First, in a disaster area, you help the dead to liberate. Secondly, the wounded to recover. And third, to have the mental state to be calm. In here, I see many of you who are closing your eyes. You, after the class, when you go to the bus and you start to open your eyes and you start to stay awake. Many of you, I know from the altar, I see your face right now. In a level 20, the way to mix the UV garlic water, it is the same. However, in the past, you receive the light of Gotara and you stand. Is that right? Now, you just merge into the garlic, the salt and the sugar, and you merge. And then after you mix, and you merge to the mixture. Do you understand? You don't. My God. I say, do you understand? I tell you, you understand? You say no. Because it is still new for you. So now, you 9 grams of salt, 9 grams of sugar, for example, 500 milliliters of water, 300 grams of the garlic, and with the liquor. So these 5 ingredients you merge to each, and you mix together. Once you put them all in a container, and you merge one more time to the container. Then after 72 hours, when you discard the garlic, and you pour in to another container, then you merge one more time, then you can drink. Is it clear for you? If not, then I will not say anymore. If I say 2 times, you don't understand. Now, as you know, I already prepared everything for you. The garlic water, the EV water. However, in the case of crisis, my God, oh my God, the formula from the past until now, just follow the same formula. They've been asking about the formula. I teach them, and they still do not know. They said they do not know about the formula for the garlic water. The formula of the garlic water, there's no change, but each ingredient that you're preparing, that you merge to each ingredient. Why? So when you merge to the cell, to all the soul of these ingredients, so that you are transform them to have the more energy. So when you mix the garlic water, it is more beneficial for you. This is also, I elaborate further on that point for you. I also prepare, in the case of the air, you don't have to worry. I prepare the antenna as I merge to the antenna for you. Each of you have the small antenna, so that in the future, when you connect to the large antenna that I place all over the world, at a moment you try to merge to the antenna at home, and you merge your soul, but in fact it is my soul to merge to the object in your home, the antenna you have at home. In that way you can connect to the large antenna. Like in Vietnam, you have the north, central, and south. Eventually, I'll give to a few locations. This location with a big antenna, with my soul, and then they will connect with the small antenna. You would be able to receive the energy to apply. If the antenna can generate the electricity, we are able to use. It is just like you are a transformer. You receive the energy from the large antenna to the small antenna in your home to generate electricity for your home. Now, in the case of air contamination, I prepare for you the UV garlic water, the UV water. If in the case of pollution, you are able to merge out in space, and you merge to all the food and drinks in your household, so everything would be the same, including the water from the faucet. You are still able to drink without any problem. Other people, they may have poison, they may have toxic, but for us it is different. So you listen carefully. That is how I explain for you. I prepare everything for you. The scientists, they try to prepare drugs, food, and the light. And I myself, I prepare for you to merge in and merge out. And that is the best way. Because when you are merging, you're not afraid because I merge to you. You're not afraid. Even when they try to shoot you, you are not afraid because you are at that time you are deaf. I tell you the truth. When my soul merges with you, and your soul is highly advanced, you do not fear anything. From now to the future, in the following days, you and me will practice together after the end of this class. I tell you the truth. In the past, let's say you are afraid of ghosts. Now, even if you see the devil, you're not even afraid of them. If Satan is close to you, you're not afraid of him. In Vietnamese, they say that now you are very brave. It is the truth. It is not like a little level, but you are very courageous. To jump into the burning oil, you might be afraid. Listen carefully. Do not say that the master merged with you, and you can ask master to merge with you, so you can jump down into the burning oil. Then my soul will just exit and leave your body right away when you jump into the burning oil. Now, as I mentioned to you through this question, let's say you have a surgical to remove the kidney, so you can merge to the missing kidney, just like in the intestine. Let's say, for example, 18 meter. I just give an example. Do not look at me. I just give you an example. The intestine, the length is 18 meter, but if they cut 4 meter, you can merge. So it will grow up to 18 meter. I just give the example. They keep on thinking it is real. She's always confused, so she keep on asking back and forth. Sometimes I answer, she's still confused. One lady from Vietnam. So in general, all of the missing organ inside or outside, let's say lost finger. Let's say you have a lost finger. So that missing part, you merge 3 times to that missing part. If fortunately it will grow, let's say the teeth or the limbs, the missing limb, then you're merging to this area with the missing limb 3 times. Instead of the past, you merge transfer energy 9 times. Now you merge 3 times to this missing limb. I confirm with you, the internal organs, perhaps you're able to help them to grow easier, especially the tooth or the intestine or the kidney or the lung or the liver. In principle, from a medical perspective, I do not know, but when you are merging, you are able to help them to regrow. And in the term of the heart, you merge to your heart. Let's say you have a large or a small size of the heart. If your heart, if you feel you have a sickness, in the case of irregular size of the heart, if you want to stabilize the heart, or to be normal, you merge to the heart 3 times, not 1 time. Besides the fact that you merge to the body, you can merge to the missing limb or the irregular, let's say in the heart with irregular size, you're able to merge to help them. Just like some of the children, a number of the children with the water from the head, due to the water in the head, the head of is large, so you merge to the size, the head of the children, so that they can, so less water in the head, so they can take out the tube from the head. As these children, they have the problem with the water retained in the head, and you are able to merge to help them. So for these people with the severe problem, let's say missing limb, then you merge to this area 3 times. Besides the fact that you are able to merge individually, you also merge to this missing limb 3 times. In other case, you do not merge. Do not try to attempt to merge to the local area. Let's say aches and pains, and you don't have to do the local. Listen carefully. You want to ask, so now I mentioned to you on that part. when you transfer energy to the chakra 7, you are dealing with the whole body. Only in the case when your soul, you try to help in the case of missing limb. So hopefully this missing limb can be regrowth. Now, as you know, now these objects, what are they? Just like yesterday, I explained to you, you go to the forest, you get lost. You merge through the whole forest. So all the soul in the forest will guide your body and your soul so you can find your way out peacefully. When you transfer energy to avoid the case, let's say in the forest with the snakes, the tiger, that may harm you. Everywhere you go, they would show you the way so you can go out of the forest without any danger. Let's say you go out to sea, especially for many of you who are fishermen, you don't have the compass with the storm. So you can merge, meaning you are merging to the wind. So with the wind will be calm to help your boat. Just like the fishermen, each time when they have a problem, you pray to the whale to bring you to a shore. So instead of praying to the whale to ask for the whale to help you, so you can merge to the wind, so the wind and the deities can guide your boat to shore safely. That is how I explain for you. These are the objects. They are not the humans. When we need, we are able to transfer energy, just like in the first hours, 3 hours, I had mentioned, as you mentioned, about the people who are buried due to the volcanic eruption. You do not know, but according to the archaeologists, they mentioned about hundreds of years ago, with the volcanic eruption that buried many people, and it would be like a mass burial ground due to the volcanic eruption that buried thousands of people. So you can merge to that area. Why? You are able to have all of the souls who did not reincarnate. Then in a way you are helping these souls to leave this area so they can learn and evolve. These are the objects, these are not the humans. These are the souls who are waiting for a chance to evolve, that we are able to merge to this area. So you listen carefully, so you are able to apply correctly with the technique. Only in that way you are able to help. And now you do not need to know in Australia, the reason I mentioned for you to merge with the statue of Virgin Maria or Kuan Yin or the unknown soldier. In the unknown soldier there are many ranks. I explained for you clearly. Even though this student who asked, I mentioned about 2 questions, but you asked so many. And this question are precious, so I answer for you. If you are in a level 19, you try to merge to the monument of unknown soldier. They would harm you even to death. I do not dare to do it. I do not dare to do it. I can transfer energy, but I do not dare to merge. I just merge after the level 19 in January to prepare 2 months before I teach you a level 20. Then I merge. Why do I merge? Then you also already understand. Anything I have to experiment first, then I can teach the student. I sacrifice first so I can teach you. That is the reason that I merge to the monument of unknown soldier, merge to the deities, to this being or that being, including like in Vietnam, the Hung Vương ancestor that's been worshipped for thousands of years. It is not equal to the unknown soldier that been. These are the souls have been around for billions of years. The mankind ancestor, they've been around for billions of years. In Vietnam, the ancestor Hung Vương that was around for 5,000 years. But the deity allowed us to do it. Why? As you know, yesterday as well as this morning, after the end of the level 19, when you go to level 20, all of higher souls from the first and the second civilization in the world, these are the higher souls. They have a chance to merge to others on earth to help earth so that we have wisdom and enlightenment so we can evolve. That is the reason that you and me, we are allowed, as a deity allowed us to merge to in any situation on earth. the human on earth. And beyond earth, well, as we cannot see, we cannot think about beyond earth, but we just think about earth. We can see there's so many people on earth that have been around for 3 billion years from the moment the first human appeared on earth. And the last question, as you know about spiritual sexual unification, I tell you, you are from the east, south, east, northwest. If each day when you want to practice unification, sexual unification, so you practice in the water, in the warm water. When you meditate in the warm water, then when you are meditate in the water, and then so you can see the difference with the practicing in the warm water and without. So if you are 60-year-old and without practicing in the warm water, when you do it, it will be the same like in the past. But if you practice inside the warm water, it will be 50, it will be just like a 25, meaning just like a 25-year-old man. Your ability, your immune system will be stronger. That is how I explain for you. So you can try to practice. That will be beneficial for you as you are able to learn to practice. As you know, in the past you received the light of God's aura in the beginning, before, during, and after. But now in the level 20, we don't have to do that like that. When you want to apply sexual intercourse after the end, you don't have to do it at the beginning and at the end. You just merge. Then all of the energy from the husband and the wife, especially for those of you, the husband and the wife, if you both are in the same class, it will be beneficial. If the husband in the higher level, the higher level, then you are at loss. Man or woman in the same way. Do not think that the man is not. The man is also at loss. I tell you the truth. Because you are at a higher level, you have to accept this. You give the energy to the lower level, because the lower level cannot give the energy to you. So the man and the woman, if you are higher level than your spouse, if your spouse is in a lower level, then your spouse will benefit more. They benefit 10, and then you have 8. For the people who are single, for those who are single, and for the clergy, I have to think differently, because over here I have many of the clergy. So you need to remember, in the past, for spiritual sexual unification, I advise for you to receive a light of God's aura and send here and there. Now, we don't use the light of God's aura anymore, as we are going higher, so you merge to anywhere that you wish, so that you are able to help all of the living souls, all living creatures to evolve. For those who are single, in that way, you feel very happy, and as you are able to help all of them, it is better for you as you are able to help. Through your mercy, you are helping all the living creatures to evolve. Nobody can do this. So on this, I help you to apply. In the case when you are single and you are the clergy, you are still apply this technique. You are still apply happily. You still have the joy when you practice. So I explain for you on that aspect, so you can understand. After this class, from the 29th, in the future, you can pay attention. When you learn the level 20, when you go through the change of your soul, when you practice in the warm water, as you mix with the ingredient that allows you to mix in the warm water, so that you are able to improve your immune strength, starting from the first day when you practice in the warm water, your body will go through the changes. Slowly you will see the changes. Listen carefully. Then you will see, I warn you ahead of time, so you can see the change in your body with the strong immune system, eliminating the toxin in your body that in the past, each time when I open chakra 100% to all of you, I tell you that you need to drink the milk with the coconut to eliminate the toxin that was still limited. But now, all of the toxin inside your body, it will go through the sweat or through the urine. All of them will be you get rid of toxic in order to have health, so that you can serve people. So now all of you, you get ready. So you get ready so that you can sit and practice with me, and later on, when I say you begin, then you can pray for my soul to merge with you, and then you merge with any individual, any region. So when you practice, when you lose all the sensation of your body, then your body has transformed into energy to travel out to space. I give you a few minutes to settle in. When you're all ready, let me know, then we can start to practice. So for those of you who give the money for me to sign, from Thailand, from Romania, some people who give me the money for me to sign, then you come and take it back, the envelope here.
Dick, can you hear me?
Yes.
I would like to ask, it's not a question, is a prayer. Before or after we make the meditation with the Master, to do a meditation also for Romania, because there is a code red, is a state of necessity, like warlike. There are 47 degrees for 3 days, and the temperature is rising towards 50 today. People are dying on the streets, and there is a very, very, very serious situation over there. Maybe today with everybody could do the same, and also in Hungary and Bulgaria is code yellow.
Listen, Paul, he already said yesterday that you can use Romania in your practice.
Yes, but I was just thinking yesterday it was not a code red and things like that. Maybe altogether.
Be quiet, please. Fu, can you hear
me?
Yes,
I already hear. I will,
okay, did you hear what Paul said?
Yes,
ask
yes,
the master,
yes.
please.
Let me ask the master. Dạ kính thưa thầy. Dạ kính thưa thầy, anh Paul ở bên Romania, bên Bulgaria, anh xin hỏi thầy là khi chúng con thiền với thầy như vậy, xin thầy bên xứ của anh ta hiện thời ngày hôm nay nhiệt độ tăng lên gần 50 độ và rất nhiều những người bị chết, tình trạng rất là khẩn cấp. Xin thầy khi chúng con thiền như vậy thì xin thầy cũng giúp truyền điện, giúp cho cái nhiệt độ bên nó được ôn hòa. So now all of you, if you wish, I do not know in the case of Romania the situation, but when you meditate, so instead of when you emerge here and there, all of us, we can converge to transfer energy to Romania to help in the case of the extreme heat, to help in this region. For me, you don't have to worry. In a split of a second, I'm there. So for you, you are slower. You can follow me. To get there, I'll be there ahead of you. My God, you ask where? It's up.
Holland is ready.
That is a country in Europe. A lady in Vietnam, she asked where it is. Some of the Vietnamese, they do not know even know where your country is. So for Vietnamese, just concentrate on in Romania. So please let us know when you are ready. So now begin. It is finished. So now, when you go home, you try your best tonight. You can stay up to try to practice in Thailand, in Holland, as well as in Australia. But try to spend the time to sleep, so tomorrow you can learn. More or less, instead of 3 a.m. And at 6, you should go to sleep, so get a few sleep, so tomorrow you can go to class.